Let's talk about the Five Heartbeats, how it went from a box office bomb to a cultural classic. Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's Mac G. I'm back with another video, and today is Wacky Wednesday. Wacky Wednesday is the day that I talk about something that's normal to me, might be wacky to you, whether that's a wacky movie, a wacky artist, a wacky song, or a wacky album. It's really wacky, but it's normal for me, wacky to you. And today, we're going to talk about the cult classic, phenomenal, put together film, The Five Heartbeats. I love this movie to death, and I'm so excited to talk about it. I'm a big Robert Townsend fan, as you all can understand, as I did Meteor Man a few weeks ago. Now we're doing Five Heartbeats, and I will be doing other Robert Townsend movies, shows, and all that in between. But before we get started, please make sure you like, comment, subscribe, /follow, and make sure you're sharing. Sharing these videos really does help to push us into the algorithm so we can build this community even more. I truly appreciate all of you for everything that you do, whether you like my videos, comment on the videos, whether you're sharing the videos, sharing the channel, and over in the community, answering the polls, participating in the polls. I truly do appreciate y'all. We hit that 1,000 subscribers, and now we're on the road to 2,000. Let's just say it. We're not even going to say like, oh, let's get to 1,500. No. Let's just go ahead and say we're going to get to 2,000. May not be anytime soon, but as long as we're trying our best to get there, all I ever ask, you know what I mean? So please make sure you like, comment, subscribe, /follow, and make sure you're sharing. Also, it is here. It is out. My album, Soul of Me, just dropped last week on June 19th. So please, go stream it. It's on all streaming platforms, wherever you listen to your music, Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, YouTube Music, wherever you get your music at. Please go stream that. Please go buy it if you want to, but please support me. Music is my passion. It's my first love. I've been doing music for 25 plus years, and it's my love. I really want to, get you guys in tune with the music. Also, Voice of the City, the music video is out, been out, and it's on this channel. So please, after you watch this video, go over there and watch that video, because I directed it, I edited the video, I had the idea and the plot in my head how I wanted to get things done on the video, and I do pay homage to the one and only Michael Jackson throughout the whole video, even with a little Easter egg at the end. And I do have more music videos coming from that project, Soul of Me, so please get ready for that. But with that out the way, let's go ahead and get into The Five Heartbeats. This movie to me is just, shows me that the talent and the hard work put together can put you in a great position. But it also shows me the pitfalls of success, the pitfalls of access, the pitfalls of, letting your ego take over. And that's always with these kind of movies that are like, whether it's the Temptations movie, whether it's the, all these different movies that show you the height of somebody's career, of them starting from the bottom, working their way to the top. And then you see the rifts between group members. You see the turmoil that happens, and how the ego gets involved, and how access to these different substances can cause you to lose your way. And this movie right here puts all that in perspective and really encapsulates everything about being an entertainer, especially being a Black entertainer, especially at that time in the 60s, 70s, and the 80s. So let's get right into the movie Five Heartbeats. Released March 29th, 1991, The Five Heartbeats was written, produced, starred, and directed by the Chicago legend himself, Robert Townsend. This movie follows a group of singers from the early 60s that consist of two brothers, Donald Duck Matthews, who is played by Robert Townsend, his brother J.T. Matthews, played by Leon Robinson, Terrence Dresser Williams, played by Harry Lennox, Anthony Choirboy Stone, played by Tico Wells, and Eddie King Jr., played by Michael Wright. Loosely based on some very notable groups from that time period, like the Dells, the Temptations, Four Tops, Frankie Lyman and the Teenagers, and many more, this movie follows the group from the humble beginnings to superstar status and also shows how money, fame, and access can cause drug addiction, but also betrayal, and in the end, a breakup that lasts for years. I truly like how this cast is put together, well put together. It was also said that in interviews with Robert Townsend when he was casting for this movie, that R. Kelly in the audition room for a certain part. I don't know what part it would have been, but he was there. And just to hear stuff like that, like this is before R. Kelly became R. Kelly, and then before he became the R. Kelly that everybody knows. So like, you know what I mean? But for that little tidbit, for that little insight, it's very interesting. It just shows like how everybody really starts at the bottom and was working their way to the top at that portion of their life. Like this is like the early 90s, so R. Kelly definitely wasn't who he became, and for that to be, you know, a thing where, you know, he was auditioning is just interesting to me. I wonder who else really auditioned that became a star later down the road. That'd be something interesting for, you know, me to really deep dive in. But with that being said, I love how Robert Townsend didn't pick a specific band or group to build this story around, even though he wanted to use the Four Tops and he wanted to use the Dells story the most, and he kind of did, but he wasn't able to get those rights to be able to just make it about that band, that group. So for him to utilize different groups and different artists and put it all together to create this one group, it's just interesting how his mind worked on that. Like, I want to take a little bit from Frankie Lyman and the Teenagers, a little bit from the Temptations, a little bit from the Four Tops, a little bit from the Dells, probably took a little bit from the Supremes as well, and like all incorporated together. Took that whole Motown thing and kind of molded it into what we see on screen, which is super dope and super intelligent as well. You get the chance to see the group in 3 separate decades and how they were at first held down by racism from record labels, competition from rival groups, and in some cases, family not being supportive of the dream and goal. We see the group scratch, claw, and fight their way to the top, and then we see the spiral and fall from grace. We start with the lead singer, Eddie King Jr., who we see have the typical ego trip and drug addiction that causes him to go behind the group and manager's back to make a shady deal, which would lead to some unthinkable things and causes the group's manager's untimely death. Eddie would thereafter leave the group, and they will replace him with another singer, Michael Flash Turner, played with swag by John Canada Terrell. I love the way that this movie shows you every step, whether it's, you know, them doing the local shows that they did and having, you know, certain other groups and other bands trying to sabotage them to where they get with Big Red, and you know he's trying to get them signed, and they go look at other labels at that point, and you know shows you the racism that they had to deal with, that they want. We don't want you to be the cover of this. We don't want you to be the face of this. We don't want your voices to be on this. We want to use your song and have this group sing it. And that's just how it was back in that, you know, that late 50s, early 60s type of thing. If you think about it, with Elvis Presley, he did a lot of songs that were created by black people, and they took those songs and had Elvis do them, and then they blew up. But the people who created those songs never got the notoriety, never got the chance to be able to say, yeah, I made that. It was always, you know, Elvis did that. And it's just shows you how that at that time, how that was. Like, that was just a normal at that point. And for them to, you know, really go into depth of how, you know, Eddie King ended up, you know, getting involved with substances and alcohol and drugs, and how that spiraled him to start thinking that everybody was against him, and his manager was trying to replace him, and you know Big Red being in his ear and close crony being next to Eddie King and putting that into his head as well, and boosting that man's ego to the point where he wanted to do a backdoor deal behind their manager's back, and you know, and how Eddie King, you know, unknowingly was the reason why their manager ended up being unalived. And it's just interesting how Robert Townsend put all this in succession like that, and told this story that, it keeps you interested. It keeps your mind like, what, like, damn, like that happened, like, damn, what the. But this is actual stuff that happened with real groups back in the day. It still probably happens to this day. You can think about, One Direction, B2K, and all these other groups. There's probably been some things like this that happen within the group. And again, that ego is a mother. Like, the ego can kill anything. If you don't separate yourself from your ego, you're gonna be in a whole heap of trouble. So don't ever let your ego overtake anything. And that's what Eddie King did. And it caused a big rift within the group. And I just love how Robert Townsend put this together. It's just crazy good. Then we get into the thing that made the group disband, and that's betrayal between two brothers. Duck was in the stage to marry a woman, Tanya Sawyer, that he had a crush on since the beginning. But he finds out that his own brother was going behind his back having an affair with her. Once Duck found this out, he left the group, and that was the end of the 5 HeartBeats. Later down the road, they all were able to come back together and somewhat rekindle that old spark they once had. You could kind of see it early on with JT and Duck, how JT was very selfish and was really about himself. It was a scene where Duck wanted to do this thing they call Shy Brother, where one brother goes up to a chick that's at the bar or at a table, and they're like, you see my brother over there, he's really shy, he really wanted to talk to you, but he's just too shy to come over, whatever the case may be. And in this particular scene, JT, straight as in the black community, as we say now, he backdoored his own brother. He didn't do the game the right way. He didn't do it right. He basically went over there and down talked his brother just so he can get the girl. And that just shows you the kind of character that JT has. And for JT to be, having sex with the potential wife of his brother, and like not feeling like that is potentially put things in disarray with them, and trying to get her to, tell him the truth. But like, you're his brother. Why are you even doing that to your own brother? And that just shows the character of JT Matthews, that he was not really a good person. He was just so focused on himself. Selfishness. That's what causes groups to break up. That's what causes families to break up. And it's just sad how that happened. But it's also very interesting because these type of things actually do happen with brothers, with cousins, with friends. And it's just crazy to me. Some other major actors and actresses that were in this movie are Diane Carroll, Harold Nicholas from the famous Nicholas brothers, who were famously known for their extraordinary tap dancing skills, Teresa Randall, John Witherspoon, and we even get a cameo from the green-eyed bandit himself, Donnie Simpson. This was a star-studded movie filled with an array of black Hollywood stars. The budget for this film was from anywhere between $9 to $10 million and only grossed $8.7 million in its original theatrical run, playing on 862 screens. The critics did not like this movie much, saying the script was corny, it had an inconsistent tone and awkward pace, trying to juggle romance, comedy, and dark drama all at once. 20th Century Fox didn't help the film any with poor marketing. One thing that can't be denied is that the music for this film really was the thing that everyone loved. Every song that was performed in the film was created specifically for this movie, with help from some high-profile artists like the Dells, Billy Valentine of the famous Valentine Brothers, Patti LaBelle, and many more. They sculpted the perfect encapsulation of the times the movie was set in. A couple notable songs that everyone truly took fondness of was, first, We Haven't Finished Yet, which was a duet with Patti LaBelle and Billy Valentine, and A Heart is a House for Love, performed by the Dells. For the scene that the song We Haven't Finished Yet was in, the girl that played Duck's sister, Tressa Thomas, actually sang her parts. On the soundtrack, she was featured, but Patty would take on the lead parts. The way this box office flop became a cultural and cult classic, and that's through VHS rentals and being replayed over and over on cable TV, notably on HBO and BET. As more people were watching and renting this movie, you could see people really gravitating to the film for its awesome music and quotable dialogue. One scene that people around would quote were, "My office hours are from," which was from the scene where Bird from one of the groups signed to Big Red of the record label Big Red Records wanted to talk to Red about money he felt was owed to him. This scene became very intense as Red and his associates grabbed Bird and hung him upside down from the balcony of a hotel room. A lot of people said this is where Suge Knight got the idea from to intimidate Vanilla Ice into giving up his royalties for his hit song Ice Ice Baby.
My office hours are from...
The music for this film, being created just for this film, it takes you back to how, old school movies were made. And so for them to create this music just for this film, like A Heart is a House of Love, that is a great song. That's performed by the Dells. And we haven't finished yet with the actress Tressa on the vocals, with Patti LaBelle and Billy Valentine. The music for this movie is just great. And I listen to this music all the time. I have it on a bunch of different playlists. I think the music is what made everything, hit a lot more. Like, you would have thought that these were actual songs that were already out, but these were songs that were created just for the movie that became almost, if not bigger than the movie. You know what I mean? And for this to be a box office flop it's understanding, right? Because, biopics or movies like this back in the day really weren't doing numbers like that, if you want to be honest, especially if they were made by, African-American directors, producers, and so on and so forth. So I can understand it being a bomb. And plus, at that time, you have a lot of different competition coming out as far as like different movies. So I understand it. But I'm so happy that this movie finally is getting its flowers, finally got its flowers by being on cable, by being on BET so much, and by being rented so many times from the video stores when video stores were a thing. And I'm just honored to be able to say that I was one of, I was young, I was one of those people who saw this movie and it captivated me. It grabbed me so much, and it made me really realize that anything is possible. You know what I mean? Putting hard work in, having the talent, putting the hard work in, anything is possible. And I just love this movie to death. Nobody can tell me anything about this movie. Like, I love this movie. I will watch this movie a gazillion more times if I can. And I truly love this movie. I want to thank Robert Townsend for making this movie and every other movie that he's made, from Meteor Man to Babs, which I will be talking about Babs in a future video, doing the show Parenthood. And I just want to say thank you to the man himself, Robert Townsend. You are a phenomenal director. You're a great actor, and you're just a very great mind in the world of entertainment and pop culture. And we need to show more love to those kind of people in the entertainment world that don't really get their flowers as much as they should. But that's the 5 Heartbeats, man. At the end of the day, it's a great movie. I honestly believe that you guys should definitely watch it. If you haven't seen it, let me know though down in the comments. Have you seen this movie? And if you have, what's your favorite part? If you haven't seen this movie, I don't know what you're doing, but would you watch this movie? Let me know down in the comments. And please make sure you like, comment, subscribe, /follow, and make sure you're sharing. Sharing these videos helps the channel so much. And we're on that road now to 2,000 subscribers. And I hopefully will get there sooner than later. But whenever we get there, it's going to be fun. Make sure you go over to the community as well and participate in all the polls that I put up daily, so we can get to know each other a little bit better. Also, my album, Soul of Me, is out right now. So please make sure you go get that. Please make sure you go stream that. Also, Voice of the City music video is out on this channel. As you've been seeing in every video, it is on this channel. So please, after you watch this video, make sure you go over there and watch that video, because I put a lot of hard work into all the things that I do, whether it's the content on here, whether it's the music I drop on the regular, whether it's the videos I create as far as for music videos. I put a lot of work in, and I truly want you guys to get involved in that, get in tune with that. But that's all we got for today. I really do truly appreciate y'all. And like I always say, peace, love, prosperity, and we out.